Hey everybody, it's Chelsea. Welcome to class today. Thanks for coming. We're going to be doing a sacral chakra flow today, so focusing on the sacral chakra, which is the energy center that lives in the space between the pubic bone and the navel. So this lower belly, kind of pelvic region. The sacral chakra is responsible for our emotions, for our creativity, our sense of pleasure, joy, our sexuality. So all these really like emotional, intense things down here. And when it gets blocked up by emotional trauma or just kind of chronic stress, for example, it can get really tight physically in this area, so namely the hips, hip flexors. So this class is going to be very hip-centric in an attempt to kind of balance out any of that tightness from a blocked sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is the element of water. It has the element of water, so it's all about our flow. We say it represents our sense of creativity, and creativity is something that we just allow to flow through us. So water is the element associated with the sacral chakra, so we'll be doing a lot of these movements in a very flowy way in an effort to find that physical flow that we can therefore also find in our kind of energy and our emotional and mental flow as well. The color is orange. If you like to do visualizations, that energy in that lower belly area, the hip region, is orange. So when we do breath work, sometimes it's nice to kind of visualize that swirling orange energy in the pelvic and hip region as you're integrating your breath. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of hip opening. Don't be surprised. This is an area where we store a lot of emotions, so it's our emotional center, and a lot of our emotions that we do not allow ourselves to connect with, or we do not allow ourselves to feel and express, get kind of locked and stored up in here. So when you're opening up your hips, that might come out, and it's possible that you might feel a lot of emotions, anger, frustration, sadness, whatever it might be. Don't be surprised, and just be compassionate with yourself if that happens. That's totally normal and totally fine. For practice today, you don't need any props unless there are props that you like to have with you to support your practice. So I do have a block and a blanket today because I know I have sensitive knees, and you're welcome to grab something similar. If you don't feel like you need props, that's fine. We're cool. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to be started lying on our back in Supta Baddha Konasana, so recline butterfly pose. So taking the soles of the feet together, knees are falling out wide, and we're just going to come down all the way to the back. Just starting to feel that openness in the hips, letting the shoulders melt down into the ground, and then just bringing both of your hands, both of your palms, to rest over your lower belly. Closing your eyes. And then just starting to bring yourself to presence here in the room. Maybe you notice the space around you, the floor beneath you, the temperature of the air that surrounds you. And then beginning to notice the space inside you. So again, just tuning in to possibly the feel of the inside or the feel of the body, the feel of the breath as it moves in and out of the body. And then we're going to work here with the breath to cultivate a little bit more space within. So finding your nice deep inhales through the nose and exhaling back out through the nose. Inhaling again through the nose. Exhaling back out. And beginning to find your Ujjayi pranayama. So if you're unsure what that is, it's breathing in and out through the nose as you constrict the back of your throat. So it's somewhat like if you were going to fog up the glass of a mirror and you're going to make that noise, except with your mouth closed. So it's that little bit of constriction in the back of the throat with the lips closed. So as you breathe, it's going to make a sound somewhat like ocean waves. So finding that breath. Don't worry if it's not perfect. You'll figure it out as you go. Just takes a little practice. Continuing with that Ujjayi breath. Start to bring your attention to your sacral chakra. So where your low belly is, that pelvic region, the space between your pubic bone and your navel, allowing your palms to just rest on that space, to connect to that space physically and also to that energy. So visualize that bright orange, swirling, energetic ball of light. Let yourself open up this space, allowing this energy to spread throughout the entire body. Connecting to your sense of flow. Connecting to your energy of creativity, your energy of pleasure, joy. Knowing that your emotions are sitting here and giving yourself permission to feel those emotions. We'll take 3 more breaths here, visualizing that emotional, creative center. 2 more breaths as you allow that energy to spread and flow throughout your body. Last breath in and out. All right, go ahead and release your hands down by your sides and actually release them to sweep all the way up overhead as you open your eyes. Just stretch all the way through your fingertips. Ooh, I got a yawn out of that one. And bringing the hands back to center. Reach the fingers through the inner edges of the thighs so that the pinky edges of your hand are resting just over your inner thighs. Draw the belly deeply up and in, and as you inhale, press the soles of the feet together, press the lower back into the mat, and lift the shoulders and chest up off the floor. The crown of your head is reaching up. You're looking towards maybe the top corner of the room that you're in, reaching the fingertips to the insides of the thighs. Hold here for your inhale, release on your exhale. We're going to take 6 more of those. So inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, lower, feeling that energy stoking in your low belly. Inhale to reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Keep it going. I think we have 1 more. Go ahead and release all the way back down. Feeling that heat building here in that core, that low belly area. Draw the knees back together in the center, and then hug your knees all the way in towards your chest, just giving yourself a little squeeze. Rock it out side to side, massaging out your lower back. And then we're gonna start to rock along the spine. So we're gonna rock forward and back a couple of times, massaging the spine. Take it just a few times. Maybe 1 more time. And bring yourself all the way up. And we're gonna roll forward to tabletop position. So tabletop, you're coming to hands and knees. Wrists are under shoulders, fingertips spread wide, knees are underneath your hips. We're going to start with a little cat and cow, warming up the spine. So think about continuously stoking that orange energy, building that energy in the body and allowing it to spread with your movement. So inhale, Drop your belly down, lift your gaze, lift your tailbone. Exhale, press and round, cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly down, look up, exhale, round. Let's take 3 more of these. And after that third one, come back to your neutral tabletop position. Draw your belly button back and in, so we don't want the belly just dropping lazily down. We want it pulled actively in so that we have a flat back. From here, we're gonna move into some hip circles. So again, just kind of bringing that attention to the low belly, the pelvic region. You're gonna take your hips kind of just over, like you're lifting through that left oblique, circling down, just slightly rounding over to the right, up and back. So you will get a little bit of an arch in the spine here as you're doing this, but it's a nice, small, controlled movement. Hips are just circling to the right. Keep gazing down, slightly in front of your fingertips. We'll take 2 more. And then switch directions. Taking the hips over to the left now, up and around. Last one. All right, coming back to neutral tabletop. Gently drop it to the forearms now. We're gonna get right into it. Elbows underneath the shoulders, palms flat. Stepping the feet back for forearm plank. So hips are in line with shoulders. You can always modify by dropping the knees, but keep your belly pulled up and in. Press the ground away from you. Let the crown of your head reach forward. Draw your pubic bone in line with your hip points. All right, we're gonna take a big breath in. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone just slightly. You're squeezing through the low belly, bringing that energy to that sacral chakra. Inhale, release. Exhale, round, press. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. 3 more. Coming back to neutral, drop the knees, send it back, child's pose. Taking a break here for just a second, few breaths. Sit back onto your heels, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Once you reach the top, go ahead and just roll the shoulders back. So already feeling that heat building down in that sacral chakra. All right, so we're gonna come up to a downward facing dog now. So bring your hands, making sure again, they're shoulder distance, fingertips spread wide. Tuck your toes, lifting up to a high plank, making sure the feet are sturdy, pressing forward so that the heels line up over the balls of the feet, press the ground away, and then hips lift all the way up and back, downward facing dog. All right, once you get to your down dog, maybe walk it out. Keep pressing the ground away from you. Just finding that little bit of movement. Shake the head out, yes. Shake it, no. And hold. Couple breaths. On your next inhale, lift your right leg all the way up behind you, reaching through the toes, and looking forward as you exhale, step your right foot between your hands at the front of the mat, coming into a 90-degree angle in that front leg. All right, we're gonna go ahead and slowly drop the back knee down to the floor, so that left knee, this is where I like to use a blanket. All right, and then just kind of checking out your low lunge. This could be as far as you wanna go, and that's fine. If you want a little bit deeper of a stretch, you can bring the hands up to the knees. And if you want even deeper, arms can come up overhead, but we're pressing the hips forward and down, drawing that attention back to that sacral chakra area, that swirling energy, holding this hip flexor stretch. 5 breaths. Really think about lengthening through the front of the body, so all the way from the quadricep up to the chin. Last inhale. Exhale, frames the front foot back up if your hands aren't already there, and we're shifting back into half splits. So straightening out your front leg as you bring your hips back. Walk your hands back so that they're about in line with the middle of your calf. Flex your right toes a lot. So draw the toes back. Inhale to lift up halfway. So think about lengthening through the crown of your head. Continue to draw your belly in. And as you exhale, just folding over that front leg. Never pulling yourself deeper than your body wants to go, respecting the depth that your body is able to sink today. 5 breaths here in half splits. One last inhale and exhale. And now we're going to move back and forth from low lunge to half splits. So that's where we're going to get that element of flow, that water energy, that creative energy. On your inhale, bring yourself back forward into that low lunge, pressing the hips down. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. 3 more. Last one to just press back into that low lunge Anjaneyasana. And to come out of this, we tuck our left toes, lift our left knee, plant the palms, and step the right foot all the way back to our downward facing dog. Relaxing the head between the arms, maybe wagging the tail out a bit, bringing that attention back to the sacral chakra, that orange glowing energy. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, look forward, step the left foot between your hands at the front of the mat. Let the right knee descend down towards the floor. And know that each hip might be a little bit different, so one hip might be a little more open than the other. This is my tighter hip, so I'm not gonna come up as high, but your options are to stay here on the floor, up to the knee, or arms up overhead. Again, this one's pretty tight for me, so I'm gonna stay down here this time, but choose the one that's right for you. Choose your adventure. Holding for 5 breaths. Shifting the weight back now into that half splits, straightening the left leg, flexing the left toes back towards the knee, walk the hands back to lift the chest, lift the torso, lengthen as you inhale. Exhale, release the heart towards your leg. Never pulling. Again, it might be a little different on this side, so just find your edge. Breathe for 5 breaths. Last exhale. Inhale to send the foot back forward, and we're gonna find that flowing motion. So inhale brings you forward, exhale takes you back to that half splits. Find that creative flow, water energy. Forward, exhale back. 3 more. Last one. Inhale to come forward, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up off the floor, plant the palms, step the left foot back for downward facing dog. All right, walk it out here for a second. I'm gonna remove my blanket. And on your next inhale, look forward and just gently walk your feet all the way to meet your hands at the front of the mat. Come into a halfway lift, flat back, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up to standing, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, swan dive back down, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And then this time as you exhale, we're going to move into a standing splits position. So starting by shifting your weight over into the right foot, sweep the left leg all the way straight up and back. Now you might bend the standing leg a little bit if the floor feels really far, but try not to bend the left leg, keep it really extended, and keep the hip facing down. So both hip points are facing the floor. And then relax the head to gaze towards your knee or your shin. I actually like to have a block on this side. Again, that's something, if the floor feels far, having the block is awesome. We're going to take another inhale here. As you exhale, bend the left knee, start to open up the hip. Okay, now from here, you're just going to circle the left knee out. So I'm actually going to bring my fingertips back to the floor a little bit wider. So take your left knee, you're drawing it up towards your left armpit, down towards the inner right thigh, and then taking it all the way up and back. So we'll take 5 circles here. That's 2, 3, last one. Release the left foot back, down, forward fold. Maybe walk it out here for a second. That right leg might have a little tension in it from standing on it. And then we're switching it out. So moving to the other side, shift your weight into the left foot now. Bring your right leg to sweep all the way up and back. Extension of the right leg, lots of engagement, hip points facing down, head is relaxed. Standing splits. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, bending your right knee, stacking your hip open, finding that big range of motion, opening in that right hip joint, so taking the knee down towards that right armpit, in towards the inner thigh, up and around. 5 circles. Last one. Settle the right foot back down by the left. Fold. Walk it out. All right, inhale to find a halfway lift. This time on your exhale, bend your knees, and we're gonna step the left foot all the way back to the back of the mat in a warrior 2 stance. So your front heel lines up with the arch of your back foot, and the outer edge of your back foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Once you get there, inhale, cartwheel the arms open, sink into your front knee, warrior 2. Gazing out over your front middle finger, sink into that front leg. Check that your front knee does not fall inward of your foot, and engage the inner thigh so that it's tracking out over your second toe. All right. Inhale to straighten the front leg, reach the arms up overhead, and then exhale, sink it down. Inhale, flip your front palm, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Still keeping that attention to that sacral chakra here. Inhale here, exhale, cartwheel the right elbow to the right knee. Left arm sweeps alongside your left cheek for extended side angle. Now we're going to take that same motion forward and back to find our flow. So keeping the abs engaged, keeping the legs where they are. Inhale, cartwheels you all the way up and back, reverse warrior, front knee is bent. Exhale, cartwheel down, elbow to knee, left arm over. 5 of these. Inhale back, exhale down. 3 more. Last one. Inhale to come back to warrior 2, and then straighten your front leg, pivot your right toes to face the left side of your mat along with your other leg. So I'm facing you now, so you're facing the left side of your mat, taking a big breath in, arms overhead. Exhale, heels turn in, sink down, goddess pose. Utthita Konasana. All right, cactus arms, shoulders together. Maybe take a second here, just kind of feel out that goddess pose. Feel that space opening up in the hips, that attention to that sacral chakra. And we're gonna find a sacral chakra mudra here, a sacral mudra. So the sacral mudra is the left hand like a little bowl, right hand inside of it. And we bring the thumbs, the left thumb over the right thumb, holding it down here at our sacral chakra. So sink down, breathe for a second. Stoking that energy, feeling that water flow. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale to straighten out the legs, arms reach up overhead, and we're gonna flow. Exhale, sink it down, bring the hands out in front of you, crossing the arms. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, we're going for 5. This time, inhale, take it all the way up. And then turn the toes back towards the front, making sure you're parallel here. Release the hands behind you, interlacing the fingers and straightening out the arms for Prasarita Padottanasana. So draw the shoulder blades together, hinge forward through the hips, folding forward, letting the crown of the head reach towards the floor. Maybe your arms come up and over. If they don't, that's okay too. Don't try to force them. 5 breaths. And releasing your bind and your hands, come into a halfway lift. And we're gonna pivot into warrior 2 to the back of your mat. So left toes are gonna turn back towards the back mat. And here the right toes are already facing still that left side of your mat. Bend into your left knee and we're gonna cartwheel the arms open. Warrior 2 towards that back of the mat. Again, lifting tall through the crown of your head, reaching the fingertips in opposite directions, checking that your front heel is aligning with your back arch. Inhale to straighten the leg, arms up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, flip your front palm, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Lengthen through the side body. Exhale, cartwheel left elbow to left knee. Sweep the right arm alongside your right cheek. Breathing here, opening up the hips and then finding that flow. Keeping the core engaged to support your spine as you flow front to back. Inhale lifts you up, stay low in the front knee, reach up and back. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale up. Exhale down, we're going for 5. Last one. Inhale to come back to that warrior 2. Holding for your exhale. And then inhale to straighten that left leg, turn the toes back towards that left side of your mat again, arms overhead. Turn the feet in, finding your goddess pose again. All right, finding your flow here. You're gonna keep your hands at goddess or cactus arms. Lift through the crown of your head, keep the belly engaged. Low in the legs as you inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee, left arm up. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. 5 each side. Sacral chakra energy. Stoking that fire, stoking that creativity, that flow. I think we got 1 more each side. Coming back to center, straighten the legs as you inhale. Exhale, turning your right toes back to the front. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot as you lift your left heel. Step the right foot back. High plank. Take a big breath in as you exhale. Go ahead and drop back down to tabletop. And we're going to slowly walk ourselves back, coming onto our seat. Definitely a lot of core work here, a lot of fire, low belly energy. Bring yourself centered on the mat, straighten out the legs. We're going into a seated forward fold. So drawing the inner thighs together, drawing the knees together, flexing the feet. Inhale to lift through the crown of your head. Let your hands just come here to the sides of your legs, to the sides of your thighs, shoulders back. Think about that energy, that drawing in of that sacral chakra area, lifting of those pelvic muscles, all those little low belly muscles, and that's where we're gonna hinge. So think about drawing it in, using that fire, using that breath to exhale, inch your fingers forward into your Paschimottanasana, your forward fold. Again, find the depth that works for you today, and then relax the head and neck down. Don't pull yourself. Two more breaths. Inhale, just gently walk yourself back up. And then from here, we're going to take, the left leg's gonna stay straight. Bending your right knee now. Step your right foot over your left leg and keep your left toes flexed. We're gonna go for a twist. Left hand is gonna come behind you for support, shoulders back. Inhale to lift the left arm. So your first option for your twist here is just to wrap the left arm around your right shin and just gaze back over your right shoulder. If you have a little more space in the spine and it feels okay, you're gonna inhale, lift, and exhale, hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and gaze back over your right shoulder. Continuing to lengthen through the spine, thinking about that twist is originating in that sacral chakra area. So drawing that belly up and in, growing that orange glowing energy, feeling your creativity, your flow, your right to joy, to pleasure. Inhale to sit up just a little bit taller. Exhale, release. Switching it out, right leg comes straight and active. Flex the right toes. Bend your left knee and step the left foot over the right leg. Same thing here. Left hand is going to come behind. Inhale, right arm up. First option is to just simply hug the front shin, gaze back, or hook the right elbow to the outside of your left knee, gaze back over the left shoulder. Keeping your right toes flexed, keeping length through the crown of your head. Breathe. Inhale to lift a little bit taller. Exhale, release. All right, finding butterfly pose now. So soles of the feet together, knees out wide for Baddha Konasana. Sitting up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, lift the crown, and then melt the heart forward. So again, you can just use your fingertips to kind of inch yourself forward. Again, when you find that spot where your body's telling you to stop, just go ahead and stop. Hang out, relax the head, the neck, and breathe. 5 breaths. Inch yourself back up. And then as you exhale, draw the knees back together in the center, feet to the floor, scooching yourself back forward a little bit here, and then just lowering the back down onto the mat. Straightening the legs out onto the floor on an inhale, reach the arms up overhead, reach through the fingertips, reach through the toe tips, circle out the ankles and the wrists. Change the direction of your circles. Taking a big breath in as you exhale, release the hands down by your sides as you close your eyes. If you want to find that intention, you want to find that attention back to the sacral chakra, to that area, you can bring your hands back to the low belly. Softening the muscles of your face. softening through the body, and allow that creative, flowing, joyful energy, that pleasurable energy to spread all throughout your body. Allow that glowing orange light to spread out of that pelvic region, down your legs, through your calves and your feet. Visualize it moving up through the torso, the chest, the neck, the head, down the shoulders, the back, the arms, the fingertips. Knowing that it is your birthright to have the emotions that you have. Know that you are free to express them, and you need not hide them. Allow yourself to be with your flow. Resist the temptation to control everything. Let go of that feeling that you need to take control. Know that you are supported and you are safe. And you can let go and just move with your flow. Know that you are a creative, joyful being by nature, by birthright. Five more breaths. Start to wiggle out your fingers and your toes. Moving your head from side to side. Take the arms by your sides as you bend your knees, taking the feet a little bit wider than your hips, and just windshield wiper them right to left. Bringing that attention again to that sacral chakra. And gently rolling over on to one side and pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes still remaining just gently closed. Sitting up tall. One last time, taking the hands over that lower belly area, that sacral chakra. Feel the warmth into your palms. Feel the energy flowing throughout your whole body. Knowing that this energy is always here, you may always access it. All you need to do is breathe and connect. Gently bring hands to heart center, palms pressing together. Sealing your practice, bowing your head. Namaste. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on your mat today. Great job doing your practice today. Awesome. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also head over to my website. The link is in my information below. It's chelsteachesyoga.com, and you could subscribe to my email list to receive lots of freebies as well as news about new videos that are coming out, events such as retreats, workshops, etc. So definitely head over there, check it out, and I can't wait to see you. Until next time, namaste.